I grew up in a small house on the edge of a sleepy little town. One of those places where nothing ever really happens and people don't lock their doors at night. We lived in an old 2-story home with creaky floorboards and drafty windows. The kind of place that always smelled like old books and faint mildew no matter how much you cleaned. The house had a basement, standard stuff, laundry machines, storage boxes, a workbench covered in dust. But what wasn't standard was the door. It was built into the far wall, tucked behind some shelves and an old coat rack. It was made of wood, dark, water-stained, and it had a thick iron lock on it, a real, heavy-duty one. My parents told me, firmly, never to touch it. It's just an old utility space, my mum said once, her voice too calm, too rehearsed. It's unsafe, my dad added. That was all. They never opened it in front of me, never talked about it again. Naturally, it became the one thing I thought about constantly. I'd sneak into the basement sometimes when they were out. I'd sit on the stairs and stare at that door, wondering what could possibly be behind it. I imagined treasure, or an underground bunker, or maybe nothing at all. But deep down, I think I always knew it wasn't empty. One night, when I was about 13, I woke up to a sound, a soft tapping, not from my window, not from my door, from below. I crept down the stairs, quiet, careful. The house was still, silent. Even the pipes didn't groan like they usually did. I reached the basement. Tap, tap, tap. Not loud, deliberate, rhythmic, coming from behind the door. I stood there frozen, heart pounding in my ears. Then it stopped, and the silence was worse. I stepped closer, closer. My hand trembled as I reached for the lock, but there was no keyhole, just a sliding latch, and it was already unlatched. That door had never been unlocked before. I know it hadn't. I stood there, unsure, for what felt like years. Then I did what every horror story warns you not to do. I opened the door. It didn't creak. It didn't groan. It breathed. A rush of cold air hit me in the face, like the door led outside, but it didn't. Behind the door was a staircase, steep, wooden, leading down into blackness. I should have stopped there, but curiosity, stupid, hungry curiosity, pulled me forward. I stepped inside. 1 step, 2, 3. The door slammed shut behind me. Darkness. I turned, reached for the handle, but there was no handle on this side. I shouted, banged. Nothing. Then the tapping started again, but this time it was below me, closer. I backed up the steps, breath caught in my throat. My hand found the wall, feeling blindly in the dark until I felt something else. Warm, smooth, like skin. It grabbed me. I don't remember how I got out. I blacked out. My parents found me the next morning, lying on the basement floor. The door was locked again. They never said a word, never acknowledged it. We moved out 2 weeks later. Sometimes I dream about that staircase, the tapping, that hand, and sometimes, when everything is quiet, I hear the latch sliding open. I used to work night shifts at a hospital just outside of town. Small place, quiet, mostly elderly patients or people recovering from surgery. It wasn't exciting, but it paid the bills. There was one room though, room 413, a corner room on the 4th floor, tiled floor, one window that barely opened. Nothing special, but every nurse who worked nights knew the same rule. Don't go in unless absolutely necessary. I didn't understand at first. I mean, yeah, it was dimly lit, and yeah, it felt weird, cold, but I didn't believe in ghosts or superstitions. I just figured it was hospital gossip. Then I got assigned to her. Patient's name was Elena Voss, elderly, frail, Alzheimer's. She didn't speak much, just stared at the wall, blinking slowly. She didn't respond to questions, didn't seem to notice when we entered or left the room. She wasn't dangerous, just empty. For a while, it was fine. I'd do the rounds, check her vitals, adjust the IV, but then I started noticing strange things. Her vitals were perfect. Every night, identical readings, zero fluctuation. Like, not human. Like a machine was faking them. I told the day nurse once, and she just said, "She's been like that for months. Months." Then one night, I was making rounds. It was past 3 a.m, and I realised I hadn't heard anything from her room all night. Not even the usual monitor beeps. I stepped in, slowly. Elena was sitting up, eyes wide open, staring right at me. "Hi," I whispered. She tilted her head, just slightly, and then she smiled. Not sweet, not soft, wide, unnatural, like her face wasn't made for it. "You're the first one to say hello," she said. Her voice was clear, strong, like someone half her age. I stepped back. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you." She kept smiling. "Do you see them?" "Who?" I asked. "They're here, behind the walls." I left the room, didn't finish the round, just went back to the desk and tried to calm myself. A few minutes later, the call light for room 413 turned on. I didn't go. I told myself I was being silly. I waited till morning, told the incoming nurse that Elena was speaking again. The look on her face still haunts me. "Elena Voss died 6 weeks ago," she said. "What?" "Yeah, cardiac arrest. Right in that bed. Room 413's been empty ever since." "No," I said. "She was there last night." She talked to me. The nurse checked the chart, then the schedule, then walked to the room. The bed was empty. The IV stand gone. No linens. The room was cold. Too cold. "They cleaned it out yesterday," she said. "No one's been assigned since." I quit 2 days later. Sometimes, for late at night, I hear the hospital intercom crackle with static, just for a second. Then I hear a voice. "Do you see them?" I try not to answer, because I don't want to know what's behind the walls.